Hi, I'm Doris Purchase, and welcome to Beyond the Frame, a podcast created just for you by Propeller Art Gallery, artists empowering artists in Toronto. Together, we'll take a deep dive into the hearts and minds of working visual artists today and their practice. In each episode, you will hear illuminating and intimate explorations of all things art, and you'll hear it in the artist's own voice. We'll talk process, inspiration, challenges, and much more. Everything you've ever wanted to know about art making or about the artists themselves happens right here. So let's sit back and have a listen, shall we? Today we welcome Heejae Jo. Which ism is it? Under which ism would you classify your work?
I will say Surrealism and Automatism. I believe in the illogical aspect in our nature, and there is so much nonsense in our lives, and I love to look into those aspects. I can also say automatism is the main technique that I use. I get ideas from my dream journals and drawings. So when I'm making art, I try not to be too controlled. I believe that there is a beauty in imperfection. I'm not obsessed with making perfect lines or shapes. I love to follow my intuition, and I don't plan the whole when making art. I enjoy the uncertainty, and I'm not that afraid of making mistakes on the canvas.
Who's your muse? Influencers, educators, mentors, who has greatly inspired you?
I can't think of any besides some great artists like Matisse, Cézanne, Miro, and I especially like Marcel Duchamp, because he was suspicious about what art is. After him, ready-made can be art, and artists can choose an object as an artwork. I like the artists who were free from the tradition, and I don't mind to be subversive if I have to be sometimes.
Materials matter. What are your chosen favorite tools and preferred medium?
I like to use various media. I like to work with acrylics mostly, but I'm very open to other media. I use dry materials, acrylic, wall paint, and sometimes add oils as well. Once I tried to use cement before in my paintings too. So I'm very open to explore other materials. I do not like to put limitations in my art making.
Slump secrets. What methods do you employ to get yourself out of a slump?
When I feel stuck, I focus on other projects beside art. Sometimes it takes long to get back on the track, but I know that I'm always go back to my art making anyway. I also like to write. Writing helps me to clear my head and sort things out.
In the beginning. So tell me a bit about your process. Do you have a bag of tricks, lucky talismans, or habits? Where do you start? And more importantly, when do you stop?
I write dream notes in the morning, trying to remember stories and images that I saw in the dream. So I can say I got inspiration from dreams and I start from it. But at some point, it becomes all about aesthetics. I pursue the harmony between shapes, lines, and colors. My strategy is I usually start from drawings in a large canvas, and I cut it later and stretch them. So I keep layering from dry materials to wet material. For example, I start from markers and spray, and then acrylic, and if I want, I add some oils at the end. Sometimes I go back to the dry material again. So I usually work on several pieces together at the same time. I move canvas to canvas, adding layers, and I guess I stop when I feel satisfied. Like other artists, maybe they do the same thing, but if I have better ideas later, I can always keep adding elements. So I tend to go back and forth.
Calling all emo. What do you wish people to think or feel when they contemplate your work?
What people think is their business. I try not to care that much about viewers' opinions because I realize that it could bother me a lot. But I was very pleased when I got a comment from one of my friends. I gave her this painting as a present once, and one day she told me that whenever she sees the painting, especially the black chunk in the middle of pretty candy colors, and it seems to her that I'm saying it is okay to be dark sometimes. There is life. It is not always pretty. And she was very humble when she said that because she thought she did not have any aesthetic artistic knowledge. And I was so happy because she was right about my intention. And my painting is not about beauty and perfection. I want to embrace there are all different things you can love. Brightness, darkness, and many other in the gray area. So art is not about nobility or refinement for me. Art is not just for the bourgeois. It is not for certain kind of people who are educated and wealthy.
The struggle is real. Talk to me about your biggest challenges as an artist. What methods do you use to overcome these challenges?
My biggest challenge is to make myself keep working on art. Artist is not a stable job. You have to keep searching for opportunities. For me, having other jobs helped me a lot. I'm balancing my lifestyle with a few other jobs. I'm a floral designer as well, and this job can get me some money to buy paint. And I'm also running a dog rescue organization. So the biggest benefit with working in different areas is that you will get inspiration from them. You can meet various people from different backgrounds and experiences, and you can feel productive, maybe. And it can be very rewarding in a different way than art making.
Picture perfect. In your opinion, what constitutes a perfect piece of art? And what qualities in your own work would you signify as a perfect work? For example, perfect composition, confident brushstrokes illustrating a concept, or something else altogether?
I think it's confidence. For me, the genuine attitude of an artist is most important. I try to be confident in each mark. Drops and stains do not bother me. I do not see the point to hide them. So each mark had a moment with me, and if you trace mark to mark, it is easy to see the process in my work. I like when I can enjoy each element is chosen, especially by artists. I like it when the elements are not as structured, and I really like when I see the confidence of the artist in the work.
Art Speak. How do you feel about titling, discussing, and explaining your work?
Titling for me is to make myself remember each work because I'm not good at memorizing names. Most of the titles are from the main inspiration of each painting. The narratives in my paintings are very personal. Sometimes I don't want to share the whole narrative in it. I guess I just want to give a little hint with my titles, and that's it. I know that when I'm a viewer, sometimes I want to know everything about the artwork, especially when I like it. I understand the curiosity, but as a maker, I do not want to disclose everything. Art making is a very subjective activity, and appreciating artwork is also very subjective. An artwork is not a quiz, I think. I believe it's okay that there is no guidance to read through. the viewers can build their own interpretations and reflect it into their life.
Heavy metal or classical? What do you listen to while you work? Or is silence your thing?
I prefer silence because I know I'm not really listening to anything else when I'm focusing. I don't really mind any music, but I prefer silence.
Why for art, though? Why do you make art?
It is very simple. It is just to express. I have so many thoughts in my head, and I have to express them in some way. And art is one of the ways I have chosen and enjoyed it so far.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Frame, a PAG podcast. To hear more episodes and to view the artist's works, please visit www.propellerartgallery.ca. Hosted by Doris Purchase, produced by Tracy Thomson, and recorded at the Orange Lounge Studio in Toronto. Also, the Propeller Art Gallery recognizes the presence of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Huron-Wendat nations. We acknowledge we are hosted on land governed by Treaty 13, the Toronto Purchase, the Two-Row Wampum Treaty, and the Dish with One Spoon Treaty. We are committed to peaceably sharing and caring for the resources around the Great Lakes and operating the gallery on the principles of inclusiveness as we continue to exhibit art created by artists from all over the world. Thank you for listening.